Today I'm working legs, and for me to warm up for legs, I start on a stationary bike by riding 3 minutes, and what I find is it gets your legs really pumped up. Now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to show you a basic exercise for every bodybuilder, and that's squats. Squatting is essential because it stimulates the entire body, and I've heard it said that if you work your weak body part after training squats and doing legs, that you get more of a benefit, more of a growth benefit, than probably doing any other exercise prior to working your weak body part. Now, the squat is an exercise that emphasizes the quads. It also calls in the glutes, the lower back, and very many other smaller muscle groups in the upper torso, because you are balancing the bar across the traps and shoulders, and then you are taking a deep position with the thighs parallel or lower to the floor, with the chest and shoulders upright, the head level and in line. A lot of people tend to throw it back, but keep it level and in line. And you push back up. And what this does, again, as I said, is it stimulates the entire body. Your breathing is affected, your legs, every part of the body is affected. Okay. After squatting, I usually go to either leg extension or leg press. Today I'm doing leg extension next. One of the secrets of leg extension is to flex at the top of the extension, hold the flex, and then lower down and feel the entire movement. So when you're doing your leg extensions, pull to the top and squeeze those muscles for a count of 3 and bring them back down. Also, you can do them with your toes pointed, which tends to stress more of the lower part of the leg, as opposed to when you push up with your feet flexed. It seems to hit higher up on the leg. Now, I'm going to slow down and I'm going to change my weight on this, and I'm going to do a real set. The thing here is to get the intensity. Keep pushing. Keep stretching all the way to the top. If you're training with a training partner, then get them to pull you to that last little bit at the top. And when you've finished, fight it down. Don't just let it come right back down again. Work the entire way through the rep. This is one exercise you really have to tie your mind into. Man, I tell you, that burn that you get in leg extension is like nothing else, and that's what you should be getting. Feel that you really went through the muscle and worked it. And now we're going to take these legs onto leg press. The third movement I do for legs is the 45-degree angle leg press, and I find this really isolates the quads, whereas the squats that I did in my first exercise emphasize the entire body with the quads. This one really isolates the quads. I've also found by changing the positioning of my feet, I can emphasize different areas of the inside of the thighs, the outside of the thighs, and even as far back as where the glutes tie in with the sartorius and the hamstrings. Now, your basic leg press position is the feet directly in line with the knees and the hips, or slightly wider. You're bringing it down into your chest so that you get the thighs right up against the body. And then the squeeze is out, but do not lock your knees. A lot of people will go and just snap right down into a lock. Keep the legs flexed the knees flex to the top and the legs tight, so that you're really feeling like you're doing a quad shot at the very top of the movement. So you have down and press to the top, down and press to the top. You'll also notice that I control the down. I don't just let the weight flop in here and do all my work on the push out. I do it both ways, so I have continuous tension down and the tension on the way up. Now I can vary my foot position by turning the toes in, pushing the heels off, and coming down like this, and I find this really isolates down here when the toes are close in the hips, and as I move the toes out, I find that it moves further up right into that nice little curve at the bottom of the line up the quads. I also turn my toes out for the inside of the legs by doing a plie squat or press and coming in deep and emphasizing the sartorius muscle. It runs right up the inside of the thighs. And by lifting my heels up, I get the calves along with this and really emphasize the inside of the legs. Now when I go heavy, I come into the center with the feet close, keeping the knees together, and totally isolate the quads in the center. As with my other body parts, I do 4 sets of 10 to 15 reps. Sometimes in legs, I tend to go a little higher in my reps, and I keep it high intensity. The stiff leg deadlift is excellent for the back of the thighs because it stretches a hamstring out, but it also strengthens the glutes and hamstring. Now, one thing I caution beginners is don't start with too much weight. Get the feel of the motion first, and then gradually add your weight on. The whole thing here is that a flat back is supported. A rounded back is not, so keep your back flat. Slightly flex the knees in the beginning so you don't get an overstress on the back of the knees during the pull. And when you pull up in your position, you're coming to the top and standing. Now, a lot of advanced people, I know you've seen it, where they do 3/4 pulls. That's one thing, but we're talking right now about the safest way to do it. Now I usually use straps, but the weight's light enough that I can use a regular grip, a grasp hold. And you'll also notice I'm not starting my lift from here. I'm starting with my knees bent, getting a hold of the weight, and pulling it. Stand up first, and then here's the set. To the top of the toes and up. When you finish, make sure that you stretch all the way down. If you can, slightly flex the knees, put the weight down, come up and relax. That's the end of my leg workout. Now, what I would do now is, since I'm so warmed up, I'm going to go on to calf work. But leg workout is very important to give you a good foundation to your entire physique and to fill in the bottom half. So don't forget to work hard on your legs. You can go for higher reps in the leg workout, but remember that everything should be done strictly, and be careful of your back. The calves are a very important part of the body. Now that you've got those great quads and those sweeping hamstrings, you have to develop the bottom of the leg. I've found through experimenting with different positions of the feet, such as turning your toes in, you hit the outside head of the calves. Keeping the toes straight ahead, you're working to lengthen and fill out both heads of the calves, and turning those toes out works that inside area of the calf so that from the front you get this beautiful shape to the calf. Now I'm going to do a set, and I'm going to demonstrate all 3 positions. Remember that you're pulling your heel. Get the feel that you're pulling the heel directly up and tucking it in under the calf for maximum contraction. And remember, it won't be effective without that contraction. You don't have to work calves real heavy, but I'd advise you to work as heavy as you can and still get a full range of motion, a full stretch and a full top contraction. Straight on, we're working for length, pushing deep down in and coming all the way to the top. And I want you to feel like you feel that squeeze at the top. Now I'm going to turn the toes inward for the outside. And I found that if you roll right over onto that toe, the little tiny toe on the outside, you'll see that contraction at the top, and hold that squeeze. Make sure that you're really squeezing the calves. You can do these each as individual sets. of 10 to 15 reps. Some people do 15 to 20 reps. Do whatever you feel will pump your calves up. And now I'm going to turn to the inside, to the outside. I'm working the inside head by turning the toes to the outside. Push off, and we'll do a few more reps, really squeezing the inside. Put your hands down and feel the contraction of the calf as you're doing this, and concentrate. Imagine your calves really growing, and it'll happen. That's what Arnold used to say. God, I wish Arnold was around the gym when I'm working my calves. Okay. Woo. They're burning. And now I'm going to go on to standing calf raise. This is another part of my calf exercises. I love the standing calf raise because they really work the tibia, this muscle down the front, and the full length of the calves from the back. I also find that they help to work the entire leg because you really have to squeeze to do these calf raises. Now I'm going to get on here and I'm going to do the same foot positioning as I did with the seated calf raise. And then when I get off, I'm really going to just stand and flex the calves without any weight at all and get the feel of the contraction. Ooh. Okay, now we've gone through our entire leg workout and our calves. Calves, you'll see, are very important for the balance of the legs, that full, balanced look to your physique. Never leave your calves out. If you have really weak calves, work them before you work your legs. Give them priority. Otherwise, work them real hard at the end, and you'll be happy.